Today I'm going to be doing my best in beauty for 2016, and this is a video that I never thought I would make. Up until 2015, I didn't even wear makeup. I was one of those girls that had like, you know, one lipstick and maybe a powder. I fell into the magical world of beauty videos on YouTube and was just totally blown away. As a graphic designer, I have a appreciation of any type of art, and to me, makeup is truly a art form. 2016 really became my year of beauty and just really trying to learn as much as possible. I'm taking an online makeup artist class right now, so I have picked out some of the things that for me were my go-tos this year. I definitely started off kind of a little bit more drugstore in the beginning and then started switching it up, but there's still a lot of really awesome drugstore items as well as the things that you would purchase at Sephora or even just things you can only get online. So this is just the stuff either that I reached for the most or felt worked the best for me. I'm sharing it with you guys and I hope you enjoy. So let's get started. I have this bag full of items, and I don't think it'll take too long to get through them. It's not as full as it looks. So let's just start off with primers. Just kind of go in the order that I guess I do my makeup. So for primers, I did a lot of beauty box subscriptions this year or last year. That's kind of a way that I use to introduce myself to new brands and products and try things without investing huge amounts of money. And I got a ton of primers. I mean, just about every box you seem to get some sort of primer or moisturizer slash primer. But the two that I found that I liked the best and kept going back and using were the Makeup Forever Step 1. And this is a, I believe, hydrating base primer. I don't have particularly dry skin or oily skin. I think mine's just what you would consider normal, maybe a little oily in the T-zone, but really not much. But I liked this one. I felt it was really good when I did have those days when I just didn't feel as hydrated, so I would like to use this one. A good light texture to it. It's one of those that when you rub into your face, you just feel like your skin's absorbing it, and you know, that's it. The other one that I used a lot of, and so much that I can't find the cap, but is the Benefit POREfessional. I have so many little samples of this guy. This is probably like my 5th tube that I've went through, but I mean, they're so tiny. This one I feel like is more of a base on your face. When you put it on, I don't feel like it's absorbing into my skin. I almost feel like it's really creating a layer that the foundation then adheres to and just keeps it in place. So I really like this one. I think a lot of people use it, but for me it works really good. I think my phone was making noise, but I'm sorry. Also, oh, I have one more primer, I'm sorry. This one I used mostly in the summer when I really got into highlighting and trying to be as glowy as possible, and this is the Becca, let's see if it'll focus. This is the Becca Backlight. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus, probably because of the bottle. But this is the Backlight Priming Filter, and this one has, let's see if I can get it out. It was way too much. But it has, you know, a glow to it. So when you put this on and then put your foundation over it, it really helps bring a glow and a natural looking glow to your skin. Sometimes I even would mix a little bit with my foundation as well, just to add a little bit more of a glow. So that one I really liked, and I squirted way too much. Okay, so next up is foundations. So 3 foundations that I used most this year. Started off with the L'Oreal Pro Glow Infallible. I think the matte one was really popular when, and then this one came out, and this one was what everyone was talking about kind of when I was looking to try to find foundations. This is in the shade 210. I actually just switched to 208. I was using this one in the summer and I was a little darker, so now that I've lightened up a little bit, I dropped back down to 208. But I really like this one. Really good coverage, was really good in the summer when I was trying to add, like I said, the glow to my skin. I never wore it 24 hours, but I definitely feel that it was a consistent wear throughout the day. You know, if you put it on at 7 a.m. and you were still out doing things at 8 p.m., you know, it was still a good, flawless look. So I really liked this one a lot. Another foundation that I really liked is the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. Ulta gets me because I go into Ulta and they're always having these days where they're like, we're going to do makeup on you. And of course, once they put it on and you see how good it looks, you want to purchase it. So this is in the shade Fawn. This is just a really good everyday foundation. It doesn't necessarily do anything wondrous other than give me a nice, even complexion. Skin looks good, everything adheres to it really well, and I really like it. So this is just a really nice, the color matches really well for me. So if you're around my shade, this is one to try out. And lastly is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting, and this is a foundation and concealer in one. I am a sweaty girl. I'll just be honest. I'm one of those people that I walk down steps and back up and I'm already starting to perspire a little bit. So I'm always a little worried about when I'm blotting and wiping away my foundation. This one does not break down. You could probably wear this and run a marathon and your skin will still look fabulous at the end. This is a great foundation and I like that I can use it to just go a little heavier under my eyes if I do have a little bit of dark circles or a breakout somewhere. It's just a one step because for me and my concealers, I tend to purchase them for brightening. Which takes us to my two most used concealers. And shock, one of them is not Tarte Shape Tape because I could never find it until almost the very end of the year, so I just started wearing it recently. But the two that I really liked the best were the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream. And this one is in the shade 25 M25 Warm. Excuse me. Is what I have. Now this one I like, but it does crease a little bit on me. I find that if I use it and then immediately bake, then I don't get any creasing, but if I skip that step, I will definitely see some creasing, sometimes before I'm even out of the house. So I like the coverage and the thickness, that it really gets in there, but I would appreciate it if I didn't have to do that step all the time for it to not crease, which is why this one is actually my favorite, which is the Urban Decay Naked Skin. This is in the shade Medium Light. Let's actually compare those two because I've never done that before. So here is the Urban Decay concealer. And then, now the wand I definitely like more on the Kat Von D. It's definitely just an easier, wider wand to apply. So shade wise, the Kat Von D one is lighter but has a little bit more of a yellow, if it will focus, a little bit more of a yellow undertone, I guess. Yeah, this one looks more cool. So, but yeah, so those are my top two concealers. So next up, let's go to bronzers, and I have two of those as well. The first one, and definitely my favorite, is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. This is in medium deep, and it is a matte bronzer. And this one, I find, my hand's still a little wet, so I don't know if I'll swatch. I like to use this one. I don't think it's really going to show up. No, I don't think you can see it at all, but it's, well, a little bit. It's really good to just kind of help warm up my face and just help define, you know, when I'm going in and doing the contour, just adding it here and in this area. It's just enough. It's not so dark. I don't like when you get that stark line on your face from the contour. I just like it to be enough to just kind of add some definition without it looking like, you know, I went in hard on it. But I really like this one, and it smells amazing, so you can't go wrong. The other one that I've been using a lot is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and this one I use more just to kind of warm up my skin. I find that this one, you know, I can just kind of go all over just to add a nice glow. It definitely has a little bit of a shimmer to it. When your face is lighter than your hands, it's hard to swatch certain things. And I don't know if you can see it. Really good. But I like this one. It's just, it's light. It's not super dark, but it just adds enough of a little glow. It's really good in the summer. So I only have 2 blushes, but one of them is a palette. So for everyday, just kind of natural color, I like to use the Urban Decay Afterglow. This is in the shade Kinky, and I find this is just a nice natural kind of peachy color that I like. It's got a little bit of a sparkle, but it's very faint, so it's not anything that you can't wear during the day. I actually have it on today, and this one is, I feel you can go kind of heavy on this one. Like when you dab in and put it on, you're like, oh, okay, so you can definitely build it up. You can do a couple swipes on it to build up. See if we can get a swatch with that one. So there it is right there. It's good to just add a pop of color to your face without it being too bright or overwhelming. Now my favorite palette is this Makeup Revolution. This is the Golden Sugar 2 Rose Gold palette, and this one is gorgeous. It comes with 8 shades, and to me it's really a mix of blushes and highlights, because some of these colors, which I'll be honest, I've worn a couple as blushes even though you're like, damn, because they are bright. Like this one right here, let me do a quick swatch because it is, this is like Ibiza shining, like look at that, and that's just like a little swipe. It's not even, so that's like I'm going to the club and I want folks to see me. I also like this shade right here. I'm gonna swatch 2 of them for you, and this one. So these are 2 of my other favorite shades. One doesn't want to focus. Hopefully you guys can see them really good. So this one right here is this shade. It's more of a pinky, and then the one in the center, which is lighter, is this one right here. So, but I love this palette. It's great. And if you're traveling, you know, a couple of these colors, including that first one I swatch, can work for highlight. So you can just take this and you've got a couple blush options and a couple highlight options if you don't have a lot of room for packing. So loved that. Now let's talk about eyes. So 2 palettes on that one as well. My go-to favorite palette is the Too Faced Natural Matte. This was the first expensive palette that I purchased. I wanted something that had some good neutral shades, but I had bought a couple of the drugstore brands, and they just, I felt like I was like scrubbing into my eye trying to get any color payoff. So I picked up this one and I love it. I tend to use these 2 shades the most, which is the Chocolate Cookie and the Honey Butter. The Honey Butter I like to use just as like a base sometimes, and then just kind of build colors up on it. And then the Chocolate Cookie can be a transition shade or just a daily. Sometimes when I don't feel like really doing any makeup, I will just throw these on. So this one is the Chocolate Cookie, and this lighter shade is the, what did I say it was called? Honey Butter, right there. And I've pretty much used all of these. I think the only one I don't use is this classic Lace Teddy. But I use this light color when I want to use like really bright, like if I use my Urban Decay Spectrum palette and I know I'm going to do like purples or hot pinks, I use that as a base just to give a nice light start to really build that color up on. So love this one. My other favorite palette is by Carli Bybel. I actually picked this up at the makeup show last year, and this one was only like $14, I think. Love it. It's metallics. I think there's a couple matte shades in here. Now these 4 shades are also supposed to be bronzers and highlighters, but I use them all for eyeshadows, so to me it's kind of interchangeable, but I've used them for highlighters as well. But these colors are also so good. I mean, it's one of those palettes that a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know, but I love, now this is a matte shade, but this plum color, of course I just wiped my hand so it's a little damp. And then this is another one I really like. And this is the darker bronzer. So those just a couple. I love that plum color. So pretty. But as you can see, nice pigmented, great payoff shades. Those are awesome. And again, $14. So, you know, I've learned in just my short time that higher end doesn't always mean higher quality. You just have to find what works for you. And, you know, I've seen people talk about my biggest disappointment. I will throw this in here really quick. I should have grabbed it, but is the Stila palette. I'm not sure which one I got, but they've been in my loves on Sephora for forever, and Ulta had them at half off. Well, I guess I should have realized that the reason they're half off is because they just suck. For me anyway, I find that they're really hard to blend out. I don't like the shades as much as on as I did in the palette. So that's definitely like my thumbs down item that I'm kind of like disappointed that I purchased. But anyway, let's keep going. So now for just straight up highlighters, I have two of those, and the two that I liked the most or used the most this year is the Wet n Wild. This is the MegaGlo Illuminating Palette in Catwalk Pink, and I find that you can use these individually, or you can just kind of rub your brush and go for a highlight all over. But I tend to pull from this shade a lot, and then this really light pink shade right here. I like those, but I definitely blend them all together. And this I think was $4 at like Walgreens, so really good. And then my other favorite is Benefit's What's Up. So this one is a stick formula that you can either just swipe directly on your skin, or you can like wipe it onto a brush and blend it out. And I didn't do a swipe of the Wet n Wild, so I'm just going to get them all. So here is the Wet n Wild, and I pulled a little bit more of the pink when I was swatching, and then here's the What's Up. What I like about this one, the What's Up, is that it really can blend into your skin. I like to actually do my foundation and then kind of like rub that in, and then sometimes I'll go over on top of it with another highlighter, but it's really creamy. It really settles into the skin and just can give you a natural all-day glow. And you can use it, sometimes I just like, I didn't even do any makeup, but I just like throw a little bit of that on and go out, and I'm like, ah, look at that highlight. So that's good enough. So I like those two as far as highlights. I thought they were awesome. So what to do next? Let's go to finishing powders. So if you watched one of my earlier videos, I think in one of my Get Ready With Me's, I complained about the Laura Mercier finishing powder, and I said I did not like it. That was a lie, and I'm sorry. It wasn't a lie at the time. What I think I've discovered is that I did not like the foundation I was wearing at the time, and it was breaking down, and I was kind of blaming the finishing powder. Because when I switched foundations and then tried this again, I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. So I just have the travel size, which is like $23 at Sephora. But I love this stuff. This is in translucent. I don't know if it comes in other shades, but this is translucent, and it is definitely my go-to. At the beginning of the year, I was using NYX HD. This is SFP01. I think it's just, yeah, it's a translucent powder. I like this. It's not super expensive, but it's a little grainy. So where the Laura Mercier is super smooth, you put it on your face and you just brush it and you're good. This one I feel like I can kind of feel a bit of the grit and grain, but I used it for a long time before I tried anything else, so I didn't have anything to compare it by, but I did like it, and I like the finished look that it gave my face. So it's still a good one, and if you're on budget, I think it's perfectly fine. I still use it now, so it's a good one. Alright, let's talk mascaras. So 2 mascaras, and the 2 that I used the most was the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I probably have received 4 samples of this one, and I'm like hoarding them because as soon as I tried it, I was like, I love this mascara. I love the wand. I find that these kind of thick, poofy wands work best for me. I do think that if I had the full size, I think the length of it would be a little longer, and I would like it because sometimes I'm kind of like bumping up against my face. But mascaras are one of those things that can dry out before you finish them, so I like having the smaller sizes to go through. But I like this. It makes my eyelashes feel full. It's not crumply. I don't get a lot of fallout under my eyes, or actually any, at the end of the day. So I really like this one. Another one that I tried, I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but is the Milk Makeup. This mascara I think came in one of my Birch boxes, and I had been wanting to try it, so it was perfect timing. The wand is a little funky on this one, and I always feel like when I'm applying it, I'm not using it to its fullest, but it's just a good basic black, and I really like this one. So we're almost finished. Next is lipsticks. I have a couple, and apparently I have a type, because all 3 of these shades, I'm just going to hold them up really quick, are very similar. But we have the Kylie Posy K, we have Viper by Colourpop, and we have, what is this one called? Destiny by Gerard Cosmetics. This one was a collab with What Would Lizzie Do? I don't usually like lip glosses, but this one is great. I keep this one in my purse all the time. It's got a really great sheen to it. It doesn't feel clumpy on the lips. So I really like this one, but all 3 of these are very similar shades, but I reach for them the most. The Kylie one is a little drying. I find that I always have to make sure that I do a base underneath it, just like a little lip scrub, and then maybe like some Vaseline or chapstick underneath it. So here are those shades, and it's in the order of Gerard, Colourpop, Kylie. So all very similar, but again, this one is a lip gloss, so you're always going to get that sheen. This one, both of these are matte, so they dry down. I feel like the Kylie Cosmetics one dries down stronger than the Colourpop one. So Kylie is the one I wear if I'm only going to be gone for like a couple hours, because my lips start feeling like sucked in and I don't want it on, but I love the color. So these I really like. So if someone has another dupe maybe for this one, I might try it out. Let me know. And then I have 2 regular lipsticks. I don't hear a lot about this brand. It is Glamour Dolls. I want to say I found them on Instagram. They had a really cute whale eyeshadow brush that I picked up, and then I saw the lipstick and I was like, ooh, I like that. And so I like this one. Obviously a great color. This shade is, what is this shade called? Fetish. So this is Fetish. Of course, it's another mauve pink. Really feels good on the lips, doesn't dry down. It's always got a nice sheen to it. Feels good when you rub your lips together. I don't find I have to reapply it unless I've just ate, but other than that, it lasts. It's got really good lasting power, so I really like that one. And then another one that I really liked is the NARS Dulce Vita. Now this one is it's sheer is what I will say. So this is a good one to just throw on when you're having a very casual day. You can see it there. So you have to do a couple rubs to get strong payoff color, but I like that no lipstick look. So this gives you a nice little bit of color, a little bit of sheen, and you just feel a little bit more put together on those days when maybe you didn't have time to do anything, but you grabbed a lipstick. So another one of my favorites. And then finally, I have one single shadow, and this is Paisley Super Shock Shadow from Colourpop. And this one is awesome. This is a great transformation eyeshadow. So let's say you did a matte look and went to work, and then someone's like, hey girl, let's go out, but you don't have time to like redo your makeup. You get a little bit of this, you swipe it on your eyelid, and kapow, you are ready for a night out. This is so pretty. The light grabs it, picks it up. It is just gorgeous. I love it. It's great by itself if you just want to put it on your eyelids just for a little something, or you can put it on top of a color. It is awesome. So that is my favorite single shadow of the year. So that is it. The basket is now empty. We have went through all my goodies for the year. I'm sure next year, or the end of 2017, it's probably going to be double, because I have just already have so many things in my favorites folders on Ulta and Sephora. It is crazy. Plus there is some really cool stuff coming out at the drugstores as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I enjoyed making it. It's kind of fun to go back and look and see what I did and wore over the year. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And leave a comment. Let me know what you're liking and not liking. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch me. Have a great one. Hugs and kisses. Mwah. Bye, guys.